Hey guys, it's Cerulean and Jake bringing to you Week 4 of the VGC Pals Season 3. This time, we are facing the Commissioner of the League, Dr. Grizzman, and his Star City Spirits.
And let me tell you something, brother. Comparatively speaking to the Norian Duskblades, you are nothing but garbage, yeah. Nothing but garbage. And I'm talking inevitable, yeah. My victory is inevitable. I take a single look at your team and you know what I see? Nothing but simple gimmicks. Just a few gimmicks meant to throw off your opponent, yeah. But you can't throw me off, no. On balance, off balance, I'm better than you and the whole world knows it. You see, I'm the cream, and the cream has a tendency to always rise to the top, yeah. The cream of the crop. You got your fast size spam, gravity apples, and Pearson drills, but nothing is good enough to stop the champ, yeah. I'm gonna sweep it clean, doing the thing, yeah, like no one ever does before. Now we're here, right in the middle of Star City, and I'm gonna keep you waiting no longer, no. I'm gonna tell you just what I'm gonna do to rise to the top.
Starting things off, we have Primarina. So, Primarina has been sort of an all-star of this team, and today she is here to prove it once again. We have an incredible matchup for Primarina, if I'm being honest. And actually, now that I'm looking at it, my moveset is wrong here, but that's fine. I will simply tell you what it's supposed to be. As a matter of fact, there's two changes I see that need to be made. But again, I will tell you. So, taking a look at his team, Primarina actually just doesn't have like a significantly bad matchup into anything. I mean, we're super effective on Hydreigon, super effective on Excadrill, Tauros, Altaria, Salazzle, Garganacl, Flapple. And while a few of those can definitely hit us back and we are a little bit threatened by them, I think what you'll find is that I have a few supports that are meant to help me deal with those. So I also want to be able to deal with the neutral threats, such as Mega Alakazam, such as Meowstic, such as Clefable, so I am packing a few things that are going to help me deal with those. I do have the Hyper Voice that is my typical source of damage, but this isn't actually Moonblast, no, this is supposed to be Dazzling Gleam. See, Dazzling Gleam is going to allow me to get past the Clefable, who has been known to click Follow Me next to a few Pokemon and try to keep them safe, such as the Hydreigon and the Flapple are going to be trying to sit next to that Clefable and get away with not getting hit by a Moonblast, but because it's Dazzling Gleam, instead, I will actually be hitting them for super effective damage no matter how many times you click Follow Me. And because it's not a Clefairy instead of a Clefable, it is a Clefable, rather. You don't have the Friend Guard, so you're not going to be able to protect against that. You're going to take the full amount of damage, and unless you're Roselli Berry, you're just getting obliterated by this. Now, you got Hyper Voice, you got Moonblast. Why do you have Hydro Pump? Is there a damage calc that you needed? Yes, but also that's not the reason why I took it. So Garganacl is actually known for living a Hyper Voice. However, there's one key thing that Garganacl also does, and that is it clicks Wide Guard. So the problem with this set, Hyper Voice and Dazzling Gleam, is that they're both spread moves, so that's why I have the Hydro Pump. I'm able to hit whatever I'm needing to hit if I am standing in front of the Garganacl, and specifically, I do want to hit Garganacl with something stronger than Hyper Voice. Obviously, the hope is that we just don't miss. And the other key thing that is not correct here is I'm supposed to be timid. If you take a look at our stats, we're actually looking like a really offensive Primarina here. Timid Primarina at 22 investment is going to allow me to outspeed anything that is Excadrill and slower. So base 103 with maximum speed and slower, so long as they have a -1. Now, if I have a Tailwind, then I'm outspeeding all sorts of things. But we'll get to that in a minute. I just wanted to make sure you know why the speed looks like that. So that's the Primarina set. Let's go ahead and take a look at the next member. We have Duskblade here, otherwise Ceruledge. we are a fully offensive set, but you'll also see something a bit odd here. We have the Bitterblade and Poltergeist, as to be expected, but instead of the Shadow Sneak on the typical Swords Dance set, we have Clear Smog. What is that all about? Well, one of the key things that I can't really deal with is setup. Now, Clefable does have the ability to baton pass, so it could go something like Amnesia, get up a few special defense buffs, and then pass that over to Garganackle. Now, I know that Garganackle is one of his favorite Pokemon that he has drafted, so I want to be able to hit it with all I've got, because that thing is just going to be able to live forever if I let it. And even in practice, even with all this tech meant to beat the Garganackle, it's still been a problem. So we're going to do our best, but yeah, it's a problem. The Clear Smog is mainly just meant to help us out there. We can wipe away any iron defenses that he'd be setting up. We can wipe away any of the amnesias that gets passed on to him. And if any of the other Pokemon also want to sit there and stack in front of me, say Flapple. Flapple, realistically, I'm probably going to want to just attack it. But say I'm under a Tailwind and he has a Dragon Dance up, and Ceruledge is the only thing that's going to be faster than him for whatever reason. I can go for the Clear Smog and I can knock him out of a Focus Sash, and then I can follow it up with something slower to just kill him. But that's the idea with this set, is that we are fully offensive. I don't have priority, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be fast enough. Obviously, with Tailwind, we are going to be fast enough to beat certain things, so that's the idea of this. Of course, opted for the Flash Fire because the Heat Waves from Salazzle were getting to be a little too much to deal with. Next up, we have the Mega Skarmory. We are bringing this once again. Not a whole lot of change here. Realistically, there's only one thing that has changed, and that is our third move there. We are running the Tailwind. So, in most cases, he does not really have anything to kill my Skarmory. He has a couple things. He has Salazzle, of course, but that's realistically it. He could run a fire move on the Hydreigon, and that would not be pleasant, but we can live most things that his team has to offer. So we should be able to just Mega Evolve right in front of him, grab a Tailwind, and now for 3 more turns, we are just off to the races, dealing some really good damage. Not much else to say there. We're just a very offensive set. We're trying to hit stuff with Brave Birds and Iron Heads. Now, we also have the Meowstic. Classic. We are bringing back the Meowstic, of course, for the supportive capabilities that it has. And this is a very specific set that we are trying to run here. Now, he has the actual male Meowstic. Mine is the discount male Meowstic that we have gotten from getting from the Mega Meowstic, that is. So we don't get to run an item like he does, but we still get to use the Fake Out, and we still have Trick Room, which is going to help in the situation that Primarina has been sort of... the Tailwind has expired, and we're trying to get Primarina up and running again. We want Primarina to be able to hit all that damage in without dying first. So that is what we have Trick Room for. Once the Tailwind is expiring, we're going to be able to click that. And what do we have here? We have Misty Terrain. Well, Mega Alakazam is a Psy Spammer. It is one of his most dangerous combos and is something that I have struggled to deal with. So this is meant to check that specifically. I am running a minimum speed Meowstic. So if I am standing in front of his Meowstic and Alakazam, what I can do is he can click Psychic Terrain, and unless he is also minimum speed, I will go after him and I will set up Misty Terrain, completely overriding the Psychic Terrain. Now Expanding Force is no longer powered up. It does not hit both. So he has to deal with the Meowstic if he wants to be able to do his Psy Spam crap. Other than that, we are just a whole lot of bulk. We do live 1 Shadow Ball from the Alakazam, at least as far as I've been calcing. And then we also live an Earthquake from the Excadrill. We also have 9 points in special attack. This is because I wanted to make sure that I am able to kill the Salazzle with Psychic at all times. Now, Salazzle is another Pokemon that is very much known for carrying that Focus Sash, so the likelihood is I'm going to bring it down to 1, but if I do get lucky and he's not running the Sash, then we just take it out. That's it. It's done. Following that up, we have Superior. Now we are running max speed because this is a very speedy match. We are dealing with a lot of threats that are going to try to go a lot faster than us. And the idea here is we of course want to stack with Leaf Storm, but typically Superior is not known for dealing a whole lot of damage with anything other than Leaf Storm. So why do we have Dragon Pulse? Well, Dragon Pulse actually gives us an option to be able to hit Flapple and Hydreigon. They do not appreciate taking a Dragon Pulse and typically is a 2-hit KO, especially since I have invested in my special attack a little bit. Now, if I happen to boost up with the Leaf Storm first, I can follow it up with a Dragon Pulse, and that should just kill them. It kind of depends on their investment. But the point is, I am dealing a lot of damage to them with this, and that is going to put things in our favor. We of course want to be doing as much damage as we can. Speaking of damage, we have the Helping Hand once again. It was such a huge boon in the last game that I thought, you know what, it could be helpful to just whip out some damage that he was not expecting, to be able to take a one-shot. I think overall it's a pretty good move, and since I didn't have anything in this third slot that I was really needing to click per se, I think it's a good option. The 17 special attack is very specific for a reason. What this allows me to do is, if I'm in front of a Mega Alakazam that is a typical max set, then if I have one Leaf Storm boost already, I can Leaf Storm the Alakazam and one-shot it. No questions asked. Now, if it's a little bit of bulk, then, you know, there's a little more wiggle room there. But so long as I have Leaf Stormed something else on the field, then our Leaf Storm will pick up the kill on Alakazam. And finally, the last member of this team, we are finally unbenching the Vanillix. Vanillix is going to be joining us for the first time here. This is a typical Scarf set. I will, of course, be showing you the items soon. The idea here is that his team just really does not have ice resist. He has Tauros and he has Salazzle. That's it. Everything else either takes neutral or super effective. So Blizzard is going to do a lot of good damage, and a lot of the ideas that I had with Primarina using the Dazzling Gleam are going to apply to this Pokemon as well. We're going to be able to click either Blizzard or Icy Wind to be able to get past Follow Me's and hit those dragons that he's going to be trying to protect. And the other thing, the reason I wanted this on my team is because of that Mega Excadrill. Now, Mega Excadrill is threatening a lot of damage onto my Vanillix here, but if I go with an Icy Wind in front of the Mega Excadrill, then that is going to slow it down to the point that Primarina is faster. So, that is the idea. We are fast enough that we can, I think, hold on, let me double check. Yes, I just double checked, and we are faster than max speed Jolly Mega Excadrill with this, so we will be able to hit an Icy Wind, we will be able to slow it down, and then we will be able to follow it up with a Hyper Voice and do some really good damage, be able to knock it out. Now, of course, it is not a guarantee that we are going to be sitting in front of an Excadrill. We could be he could be hiding the Excadrill in the back or just not bringing it, and in that case, we do have some other options. We have the Freeze Dry, so we have an option to deal with the Tauros. No guarantee that it will be there, but we do want the ability to hit it, because otherwise we just can't. And then finally, we have the Aurora Veil. It is a bit awkward having Choice Scarf and Aurora Veil, because it means that I'm going to be forced to switch out immediately after setting it up, but being able to set up the Aurora Veil before pretty much anything, not everything, but pretty much anything can attack me is pretty nice. Just be able to reduce that damage right off the bat. Essentially, it's a budget prankster screens. Hopefully it'll work out for us. Obviously, if he leads with max speed stuff like the Alakazam, then I mean, I'm just not outspeeding it. There's no way. Unfortunately not. But we do have a pretty good team here, in my opinion. So let's go ahead and take a look at the whole of it. This is what we're looking at from a zoomed out view. Taking a look at our items, we have the Kabia Berry on the Primarina. We want to be able to survive that Sludge Bomb. from the Salazzle and deliver a water move right back to it. Focus Ash on Duskblade, since we are fully offensive. We do want to be able to actually get our Swords Dance and then follow it up with an attack. We also have the leftovers. Once again, on Superior, we want to be able to heal up, be able to protect, stall it out, and get our HP back up. In practice, when I was taking a hit on switching in, I was not dropping below half HP, so I wouldn't be able to get the Citrus Berry procced. I would prefer it because I didn't have a ton of opportunities to heal up off of leftovers, but at the end of the day, some healing is better than no healing, and if we're dropped to like 55% and we're not able to proc our Citrus Berry, then we're in kill range, and we won't be proccing it then either. So leftovers it is. And then finally we have Vanillix with the Choice Scarf. Like I said, the other two are, of course, they're Mega Stones because they have to be. This is the set, other than, of course, the Primarina that has not been fixed yet. So, how are we going to do? Let's find out. Alrighty. Let's see here. I think we are good to go. Let's take a battle. Let's change off of the singles team. The half-baked singles team. This is the one I'm looking for. And I'm ready. Best of luck. Preferably to me, but still. Is he prepping something? Yeah, he'll figure it out. It's fine. Oh, notes. Yeah. So I do have some predictions on what he's gonna bring. See if I can get to them first before he actually shows us. There it is. I was thinking Garganackle, Tauros, Salazzle, Flapple, Alakazam, and Meowstic. Let's see what he has. Move the mouse. Clefable is here. Okay, so he went for a completely different team. He decided not to do that one, which is fine by me. No Garg is awesome. Instead, we put in X, and let's actually figure out what we're gonna do here. So this actually, this has a few of the members that I was wanting to bring the Vanillix for. So we're going to be bringing both of these. And this was meant to deal with a few different things, but neither of them are here, so I just don't think that we ever bring the Superior. And that's cool. We're happy about that. We also... I don't know that we need to bring that. We definitely bring this. I think I want to start with Cerulege in the back and see how that plays, because one of the things I wanted to be able to do is if he has the Salazzle lead, then I'm able to hard switch into Cerulege. So that is what we're going to start out with. Now let's take a minute to mark all this down. He does have Salazzle, does not have Flapple. He has Clef. And then let's hit done. It's Hydreigon and... Oh, just Hydreigon. That's the last one I don't have. Hydreigon, the Excadrill is Mega Stone. Okay, so he starts off with 2 supports, which is interesting. Not sure what to think about that necessarily. Okay. He did mention that his nicknames were going to be interesting, so... looks like he wasn't lying. I do want to block a Fake Out into a Sludge Bomb, because that would be really bad for us. So I'm going to Protect, and we will pivot around over to the Cerulege. Because he does not have the Hydreigon or Excadrill in the lead. There's the fake out, and then Sludge Bomb. Nasty Plot. Okay. Now, the key thing here is that we don't have speed control, so with Nasty Plot, he may be killing me through Kaguya. Let's take a look. At +2. There's a small percentage chance that he could kill me here, because we are not full bulk. So we'll go ahead and we'll give it a try. I should not be faster than it, so the Clear Smog isn't going to make it in time. Instead, what I want to do, I'm not threatened here, so I'm going to go for a Swords Dance of my own. Are you going to weaken me? Thunder Wave, okay. So we have Nasty Plot. We have Fake Out. T-Wave. I did 37% with a Hyper Voice. We'll go for it again and go for a Poltergeist here. Okay. So there's the Tauros, obviously Intimidate. Here comes the Sludge Bomb. We do live it, just barely. Now we're going to find out if he's Sash. He is Sash, okay. Do a nice little chunk to the Tauros. Go for the Poltergeist. And you avoid the attack. Awesome. Okay. Not good, not good, not good. I'm gonna go for the swap here. And a Poltergeist once again here. I think there's a chance that he's going to go for a he's gonna go for a Protect. Yep. Because he wants to block the Shadow Sneak that he doesn't know I don't have. Koba Berry. Okay, so Koba Berry, that one's flying. Koba, you have Aqua Jet. You have special attackers out, so I'm going to go ahead and Mega Evolve, but I'm going to Protect because I don't want to get hit by the Heat Wave. And I will just go for a simple Bitter Blade into you. The Psychic is what I'm worried about here. Ah. Okay. So Heat Wave and Quick Guard. So we have Salazzle's full set. And then you have Quick Guard. Alright. Hey, that's one of the names of something on Okami. So you're not gonna throw me off. That's something that'll be on my channel at some point anyway. Yeah, we're gonna get a Tailwind here. It's not really gonna do a whole lot for Duskblade, but that's fine. We're just gonna see if we can get the Poltergeist off. Obviously, probably not. I think we're gonna eat a hit here and just die. Get the Thunder Wave into me. So the Thunder Wave is causing a problem, and I kind of hope I do get the kill on the Meowstic here. You know, you avoided my Poltergeist, so I appreciate... I appreciate paying it forward. Kasib, okay. Kasib, you are... horsepower. You probably... Now, I do have a Swords Dance, so I don't know if you EV'd for that. But you probably did EV specifically in... specifically to live a Poltergeist. So if you're full HP, then I'm not going to be able to kill you through Kasib. We are going to die to the EQ, which he does have, and we can write that down now. EQ. And this should finish. So we revealed Kabia. We did not reveal Focus Ash yet. We just took a big hit, is all. I don't know if you were watching NAIC today, but are you going for a double protect? Is that the idea? Nope. All right, we take the dub. Let's continue battling. Okay. So the Salazzle is pretty nasty. Salazzle is definitely not something to be trifled with that nasty plot. I think we're fine to keep bringing this, because that would have been good. And then Ceruledge Edge was too valuable there. It is a shame that we don't have any Thunderwave immunity. We don't have any Dark types. We don't have any Electric types. And I guess we didn't bring Mamoswine, so yeah, we don't have any Ground types either. I think we bring the same, and we see what he brings. What else did we reveal? Tailwind. All right, what do you got? Different lead for sure. You do not have a fake out, though. So you ought not be ready for this. I know you're Koba Berry, so I'm not worried about you being scarfed. All right, we got the Icy Wind. Good. Now you should be slower. Perfect. You may end up taking a close combat here. That is what it is. Wild Charge. You know, I did see that it got that, but... critical hit. I'm not sure if that was required. Hold on. Tauros, Aqua, custom sets, Wild Charge. Yes, the crit was required. So that is a shame. But we just try to recover. There's a decent chance that Salazzle's coming. That could be a problem. If it's Salazzle, then I have a decent switch, so let's go with Skarmory. Yeah, okay. I'm glad I went with Skarmory then. I mean, Wild Charge's gonna do good damage into Skarmory too. Especially if I go for a Brave Bird, I'm gonna take a shit ton of recoil, and I will die. So I might have to just kill the Tauros here. If he's got a fire move, then I'll live it. Oh, don't forget to Mega. Let's kill this and Icy Wind. Do go for a Jet. Heat Wave. You are telling me that you are probably Scarfed. Because there's no way that you're faster than me, even on Timid. So yeah, you're Scarf. Jesus. I mean, are you faster than him now? If you are Scarf... Well, I mean, this should just return him to normal speed, right? Yeah, 165. So I am faster, and Icy Wind will kill him so long as it hits. This. Okay. Hello. I mean... I have Ceruledge Edge in the back, and I know that you're Scarfed, so this should be pretty locked up, so long as I can deal with the Meowstic. So we realistically just need to get as much damage into this thing as possible. You do have Fake Out. So I think you're going to Fake Out the Ice Cream. But that's fine. We want to get as much damage down on this as we can. And then Poltergeist it. Yep. That comes out. Go for the Brave Bird. It's a lot of good damage. The Poltergeist should do it now. Let's go with Meow Stick. Let's just say that it's my set, not Mega, and you have Kasib Berry. Also, I think he missed a Heat Wave because I was looking away. Yeah, Poltergeist is just killing you from here. I could go for Bitterblade to be safer. Bitterblade is doing 45 to 53. If you are like max defense, then I might not kill. But we have the Icy Wind, so it'll be fine. Oh, the Thunder Wave. Fair enough, yeah, you'll die. You're going to give me the Flash Fire, so we definitely kill now. And that's the game. GG. Yeah, I mean, there's only one thing that can kill it, so I mean, it's not, the differential's pretty decided. I think that one's fair. Very good game, Dr. Grizzman. That was well played, and you got some good stuff there. I didn't actually see any real gimmicks. You kind of brought like the real Pokemon on your team, and I will say this, in practice, it was the gimmicks that was giving me problems, so you should have gone the gimmicks. When I was practicing against like real balanced team, I was having a ball. And, I mean, that was why. So, very good game, regardless of the difference in team decisions. I mean, you obviously had a plan, you played your plan, and you played well. So, but, as I have said in the last episode, Grizz is someone that I have become friendly with over the, like, 6 months I've been in like the server. So I'm down to do an interview, and he said that he was too. So let's get to it. And here we are after an awesome battle here with my opponent Grizz. It was a great battle. I had a lot of fun. What about you?
It was a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a lot of fun prepping for it. But
well, I'll tell you, I didn't. You have a lot of things going on with your team, and it's kind of hard to prep for all of them.
Yeah, basically when I was drafting the team, I was like, how can I fit every single gimmick that I love into one team? And I feel like I did a pretty good job with it, but it also just plays really weird. And when I don't bring the gimmicks, I just don't feel as comfortable with it, even though it's just generic Pokemon. But
yeah,
I'm a very gimmicky player in general, so what works well for me probably wouldn't work well for a lot of other people. So
that makes sense. A lot of people have certain ways that they like to play. I know that there's this really popular Cerule Edge team going around right now. It's quote the strongest lead in Pokemon Champions M-A. It's the melodic and weird ear stuff.
Yeah.
I tried it, and oh my god, I hate that team. Maybe it's just because I don't get it, but I hate that team.
Well, I think it's just worse in general because they nerf sleep, right? Like it's all the coil gravity hypnosis, setup stuff, and like with sleep only being a max of 2 turns, it's just not as good as it was.
Right.
Because I also am an enjoyer of gravity hypnosis, but I threw it away immediately because they nerf sleep. It's not as good.
Mm-hmm.
So, but somehow it worked for that guy.
Yeah, I don't know how it worked for him, but I mean, it just goes to show the point that I'm getting at. That everyone has their certain play styles and certain strategies that they like, and they can make it work. They have a lot of practice on it, and I imagine a lot of these sort of gimmicks that you ended up not showing today is the type of stuff that you're familiar with playing.
Yeah, I am a big believer in. I love Trick Room, which is just hilariously bad in M-A for the most part. I know you and I cooked up that Ampharos team, and that's probably the best Trick Room team that I've played this format. And that's saying something in a format with like Mega Crab and Mega Camerupt and Mega Golurk and all these strong Trick Room Megas that were supposed to be good, but they're just not up to the snuff apparently. Mm-hmm. And I love Psy Spam, love it, but it's also bad with no ability terrain, and it's really awkward, which is why I made sure that I drafted Meowstic and Meowstic first, because it would enable a lot of my different gimmicks that I like to do, but I just haven't had a great time to bring Psy Spam, so.
Yeah, it's such a wide arsenal, the Meowstic. Obviously, I have it myself in the Mega form, and even without an item, that thing has just been an absolute all-star for the team.
It's very, very, very good. It gets so many good moves for just enabling whatever you want to do about it.
Mm-hmm. But we did exchange the team sheets here, so let's go ahead and take a look at what you got. The Salazzle, so, I mean, you did catch me a little off guard with the nasty plot, because typically I see you using this thing with the fake out, and it's part of the reason that you drafted it is what you told me.
Yep. I drafted it mainly for fake out, disable, encore, taunt. It also gets acid spray. It gets hold on, I gotta pull this up because it's a pretty extensive list of support moves that it gets. The biggest one for my needs and why I've enjoyed using it throughout the years is Dragon Shear.
Yeah.
That's, I'm sure we'll go into that right now, actually.
Okay.
If you don't know what Dragon Shear does, if anybody doesn't know, it gives stuff +1 crit rate. Unless it's a dragon type, and it gives it +2 crit rate. Right?
Yes.
So I love Dragon Shear because I can put it next to this special attacking dragon type with Scope Lens, Dragon Shear it, and then it just crits all its Dracos.
Yeah.
I think I've done the combo once this season, and it kind of worked out, kind of didn't because of Thunderwave. But that was also, he had double Thunderwave, which is very sad. Makes me very sad. But it's fake out, fake tears, helping hand, encore, taunt, Thunderwave, encore, disable, pretty much anything you would want it to get. Salazzle is a very underrated mon in my opinion, even if it's not the best offensively,
Mm-hmm. Well, what I will say is that this is actually a lot closer to the set that I practiced against, because I was going against, in practice, a Scarf Salazzle.
Gotcha.
And near the end of practice, I told him, I really think he's going to be doing Focus Sash. Like, he's just going to be doing the Focus Sash fake out stuff. I think you should switch to using that. I want to practice against that. And he said, Salazzle gets fake out? And I'm like, oh my god, I'm going to lose.
Well, I think that, yeah. So I think that the Kivia Berry, honestly, is what did me in. And as soon as you didn't protect that turn in turn 1 when I was +2 and you were sitting in front of it with Prim, I was like, yeah, he's Kivia. I was like, there's no way that he's just sitting here. And I was in such a good position. If I didn't want to give up my +2, so I was like, I just have to hope that I kill through Kivia, and sadly did not.
Yeah, I ran the calc in the middle of the battle. I just assumed that you were max special attack. I don't remember if I calced for timid or modest, but I threw the nasty plot on, and there was like an 8% chance that you killed me at max.
Yeah, so I low rolled then, more than likely. On in the game I low rolled anyway. So which 8%'s 8%.
Yeah.
You either hit those or you don't,
The Meowstic is interesting because I was absolutely 100% on, like, he's gonna bring. I have a lot of answers to it, but it's just so strong. He's going to be bringing the psychic terrain stuff. So my buddy was actually he was running both quick guard and psychic terrain. I was like, stop doing that. Just I know that I'm prepped for it. I have the Misty terrain on my Meowstic with minimum speed, but he's not gonna know that. So stop running quick guard. Just do the terrain.
Yeah. I precisely, like, it wasn't bad in your team, especially with, if I had ran like helping hand psychic terrain and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not bad into your team, but I knew that was the one thing overall that you were going to prep for, because it's, you look at my team and it's, he's got Prankster, Meowstic, and Mega Alakazam. It's like, obviously, if he can run Psy Spam, he's going to run Psy Spam.
Mm-hmm.
So that's precisely why I didn't bring it, because I knew that he would be prepared for it and it would just be a bad time.
Yeah. Obviously, Thunderwave, I've gotten mileage out of that, so I mean, just speed control is good at all times. The Sunny Day, what were you looking for with the Sunny Day?
So the reason why I brought Salazzle with the way that I did is because most of your answers for what you would have brought in against the Psy Spam mode were really weak against fire moves.
Gotcha. Except
for Primarina, which obviously gets hit by Sludge Bomb. Mm-hmm. So I was like, if I can get Salazzle next to, well, when your first lead was that, you opened up with Vanillix and Primarina, I was like, well, this is just an easy fake out nasty plot. But if you would have just clicked Icy Wind, then I would have been in trouble. So
yeah,
in game one. Which I had a feeling it was Scarf, but I would think that, I was like, he'll switch. He doesn't want to get fake out and flamethrower. Like, there's no way. But yeah, that was my thought with that. It's like, if I can get Salazzle the +2 and, I can probably do pretty decent damage with Sunny Day Heat Wave, even to Prim. Mm-hmm. Obviously the one roadblock to that is Ceruledge, but I kind of was hoping that Exegro could handle that in the back.
Yeah.
If it came to that. But, which it would have. If it could hit high horsepower, that would be nice.
I was, after I missed the Poltergeist, I was like, oh no. Yeah. And then you followed it up with the high horsepower miss. I was like, you know what? We're even.
Yeah, it was even. It's really funny that it happens like that a lot of times, the back and forth. Mm-hmm. Which is good, because I would rather have a game like that than it feels like I just, one person out hacks the other, and that's how the game ends.
Yeah, I
would rather it be even.
This isn't NAIC. Let's chill with the crazy hacks.
Yeah. I really wanted to go for the double protect at the end of game one, and I was like, nah, it's fine. I'll just, 33%, he earned it,
Well, I called it out. I saw that my Tailwind was done in one turn, so I actually stopped and thought about, okay, what am I going to do if he gets a double protect? I don't remember what I was thinking, what I was going to do, but I did have a plan for it.
I was like, if I can just stall out the Tailwind, and then maybe I can get an extra kill, but I don't think I was ever killing Skarmory. Mm-hmm. It would have taken a lot.
Yeah, I mean, the Excadrill, it's a pretty straightforward set here. It's kind of what you expect to see. So I assume the speed is just EV'd because, like, at this much, I'm never going to catch it, so you just dump the rest in special defense?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's how I do all my speed tiers. I just look at the teams, and then, I put however much I need to outspeed whatever I need to outspeed, and then I just dump the rest in a general bulk, usually. Mm-hmm. Especially if it's only like 4 or 5 stat points. I'm like, that's not actually going to help me survive anything meaningful that I want to calc for. So
yeah,
just put it into general bulk.
So I mean, I've gone through about like half of your team. I want to make this reciprocal. So is there anything on my team you want to ask about before we continue with yours?
First off, what was the Hydro Bump for? What were you scared of?
So Garganacl gets Wide Guard. and it was a problem.
I mean, yeah.
It was a very big problem.
I wanted to, but I don't know. I just felt like you would find a way to, whether it would be taunt on something or, I figured you'd find a way to get around the wide guard. I mean, yes, Garg in general could do decent damage, but like I think Garg in general was good. It was really good into Sarilage. It was really good into the Nelix, and it's decent into Skarmory if you didn't bring I guess you had Iron Head, but I mean it's a Garganacl, so
right.
It's taking probably 45% if I make it defensive.
Yeah, it's like a
that makes sense though.
It's a good chunk.
Yeah.
But if you're playing it right, you can stall that out.
Plus you get the extra damage from Salt Cure.
Yeah.
And it's neutral instead of resisted anyway, so. Skarmory's pretty straightforward. It's about what I expected. And then Meowstic, the Misty Terrain obviously makes sense. The Trick Room also makes sense. I that doesn't really surprise me in general.
Mm-hmm.
The Misty Terrain to get rid of my Psychic Terrain. Having I really hated that I didn't have an attacking move on Meowstic, but I just really wanted the Sunny Day stuff to work out.
When I was writing down your Pokemon, I was like, okay, he's revealed 3 obviously fake out, but doesn't count. He's revealed 3 non-attacking moves. Like this last one has to be Psychic. Like it's gotta be Psychic.
You would think, right?
Yeah. No, I if I would have known that the last move was Sunny Day, I would have been a lot less stressed about making sure the Meowstic goes down when it was those last 2 in the final game.
Yeah, I was like, oh, he went after Meowstic. I was like, okay. I don't know why that matters, but yeah, I guess in your head, I had attacking move, obviously.
Yeah, because I had already, the moment that you were faster than some of the other stuff that I had, I was like, okay, it's Scarf on the High Dragon. So I had Scarf pinned down. I knew you were locked into Heat Wave, and I knew I was completely invulnerable. So I looked over at the Meowstic, and I'm like, this is the only thing that can do damage to me, and is his only win con.
Well, joke's on you.
I
guess joke's on me.
No, the moment I revealed Cerulean Edge, it was like, okay, well.
Well, no, I had a feeling you had Cerulean in the back, and as soon as Tauros went down, I was like, yeah, it's over. But yeah, I'm at least gonna try and get a couple more kills, and thankfully I did. So,
looking at more of your team, I actually, speaking of the Tauros, I had clocked that it had Wild Charge, and I thought it'd be okay because I live Wild Charge, and then you crit me.
Yep, you do live Wild Charge. Yep, that's. I was shocked when it killed. I was like, that has to be a crit, and then I was like, oh yeah, sorry. I was like, because it did like, I don't know what your, actually I do know what your bulk is. Let me look. Yeah, I probably would have done like 75% maybe.
Yeah, it was around there.
Yeah.
It was not pleasant because Primarina absolutely goes wild into your whole draft, like pretty much.
Oh, I'm aware. Yeah, I almost brought Scarflapple. That would have been fun.
Yeah, I had so many, like Flapple was like, okay, this is like one of the few things that he can hit me with really good damage. I have to prep for this.
Well, the funny part about Flapple is, and why I actually really considered it, was because it gets Sucker Punch too.
Yep. I
was like, so I could like run, I don't have to run Scarf. I could run it next to like Tailwind Hydreigon or, Icy Wind Clefable or Thunderwave Meowstic, and then I can take care of the Primarina, and then even against the Sarilage, I have Sucker Punch.
Yep.
And then, yes, Skarmory quad resists, but I also have Salazzle or, Heat Wave Hydreigon or something like that to deal with that. And I was like, actually, it's really not that bad until it's the 2 mons that actually do good in my team, but it also is Flapple.
Right.
And I just showed everybody what Flapple does like 2 weeks ago, so... I was like, everybody's prepared for Flapple now. I brought it out. I didn't win. It's all good.
Well, it certainly gave me a lot of trouble regardless. Because he went through a couple variations. He did do the Scarf variation, and he also went for the Focus Ash with the gravity next to it. He did fake out Dragon Dance and then did the gravity grab apple stuff.
Yeah. It does crazy damage. I mean, I think the calc that really threw everybody in the Discord for a loop was when it killed Max Bulk, Alola Ninetales, and Snow.
Yeah.
Like, everybody was like, oh, that's crazy. It's like, well, yeah, it's like 160 base power and it's hustle boosted.
Yes.
Like, it's it's crazy. Like,
the very first item I immediately put on Primarina was Rindo Berry with max HP, and I went to the calculator, and I was not even close to living.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, well, we're done with that.
It's like, yeah, we'll just protect Primarina. Yeah. It's like, sorry, you're Isaac Newton over here.
Yeah. You had asked about something before we started the interview, and I want to get to that. You asked me about the Ceruledge. Specifically.
Oh, about Clear Smog. Yeah, about Clear Smog. Yeah.
So.
Do you remember what it was for?
I do remember it. Garganackle was such a problem because it had so many different things that it could do. And one of them was just sit in front of me and stack stats, and I'm just it's impossible to kill.
Yep, it is. I love Garganackle. Everybody called it a fraud, but it's still good. It's still there. I mean,
specifically, like, you don't even need to out the Primarina, because what he was doing was he had Clefable with Amnesia Baton Pass.
That's crazy. So yeah, that's insane, but I love it.
Yeah, so he was passing those, and then he also had the iron defenses, and was just like, okay, well, I can't kill it. My best shot is to crit it, and even when I do crit it, it's so naturally bulky that it's like, okay, well, I have to be able to deal with this, and I don't have room. The only Haze Pokemon I have is Primarina, and my set is just spoken for. So it had to be
just a good set. Yeah. It's just a good set, so I totally get it.
And so one of the techs that you didn't bring up I want to tell you about is it's actually Dazzling Gleam, not Moonblast, and that is all of Clefable's fault.
Oh, because of Imprison or what?
Follow me.
Or you just or follow me? Yeah,
yep.
That makes sense.
Clefable was sitting next to Flapple and I couldn't deal with it. Clefable was sitting next to Hydreigon and I couldn't deal with it. So it's like, okay, well, I'm going to deal with it one way or the other.
Yeah, I thought about it and I was like, well, it'd be really nice to bring, Follow Me Clefable. But then I remembered that Mega Skarmory gets Stalwart and I was like, I'm still going to bring it, but I don't know if I'm going to actually use it. Like, I know that I guess I could use it next to, like, Excadrill, and it would be okay, because, like, what is Skarmory doing to Excadrill, I guess?
Right.
But it's, I had it on the team. I was like, it's good just generally. I didn't really have any setup this week, though, except for Nasty Plot, which I guess would have been okay, but you can get around that with Hyper Voice in my head. So,
yeah.
I was like, it's not really doing a whole lot, but it's at least there enough where it might be, might be okay.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, obviously the Koba Berry was for that, the Brave Bird.
Yeah, I think it was still doing ridiculous amounts of damage, though, for no reason. Even with the Koba Berry, I think it was still doing, like, 65% after Intimidate. Just crazy damage.
Jeez. And then the Clefable defense, was that just, like, eating Iron Heads or something?
Yeah, I think it was 2 Iron Heads, and then, like, +2 Poltergeist and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
And plus, the Citrus Berry, I was like, if I do get in a point with Ceruledge, especially that was with the Koba Berry as well, I was like, I could put something else, like, I could put, like, Scarf Tauros and go another Adamant Dragon or something like that. But I was like, I want to be able, if I get into a point, I can, like, wall Ceruledge for the most part as well.
Yeah.
That was part of it as well.
I didn't have the stats. I didn't ask Poison to send me the stats that he was running. But I remember Clefable being a huge problem for Ceruledge because I think he was essentially this set right here. Max HP with a lot of defense, and with Unaware, it's like, okay, I can stack plus 6, and it doesn't matter, you know.
Yep. Yeah, that's, Unaware is just so good into a lot of your team because you do a lot of setup stuff, especially Superior. I was like, it's, I probably should have brought it just for the sake that you might have brought Superior, but it just eats Leaf Storms like nobody's business. And I guess because I didn't think it was really Superior's that great into any of my team except for Tauros. I didn't think you would bring it, but
yeah, it was meant for other stuff that you didn't end up bringing, particularly the Garg.
What? Oh, the Garg. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah,
I was hardcore prepping for Garg because it was just such a problem.
Which I mean makes sense. I honestly, I hate to say this, I love Garg, but I literally didn't even look at it.
Yeah,
I was like, it's got too much stuff on his team can hit me, like Superior and Primarina, and yeah, I mean I drafted it for Wide Guard, but I was like, it's he can get around it. Like Moonblast probably 2 KOs me if he's max special attack anyway. So.
I also had it statted specifically because usually, like, in my eyes, the optimal stat spread for a Superior is max HP, max speed, because you don't need damage if you're just going to be stacking special attack. But I statted specifically, so if I already have a +2 and your Alakazam comes out, then Leaf Storm just kills you.
Very nice. Poor Alakazam.
Yeah. No, definitely, we started out with the Flapple being a problem, and then I solved it. Like, I just completely shut down that lead. It is impossible to deal. Like, he is unable to deal with everything I've got. And then we started playing around with the Psy Spam stuff and the Garganackle stuff, and it's just like, okay, I can sometimes beat this, but it's very strong and can run away with the game. Like, I have to be very careful in the way that I play it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm sorry I caused you so much heartache to just bring a generic setup balance team, but
well, I mean, we practiced against it, and he, like, after 5 games, we were like, okay, we're done with this. Like,
yeah,
you do well into it. Congratulations, you win. Moving on to the gimmick stuff.
Yeah, I didn't think there was any way that you were gonna let any of the gimmicks work,
Yeah.
And it sounds like it was true. Like, you literally had all of them solved. I mean, maybe the only one that could have worked is the Dragon Cheer stuff, but it sounds like you had Choice Scarf, Vanillix, and Tailwind on Skarmory and stuff like that. Like, even that wouldn't have been able to do a whole lot.
Yeah.
But
the Mega Excadrill was another one that I was like, I had it just solved because I was pretty much always leading Primarina no matter what. And if you had the Excadrill, like if you had Excadrill and Hydreigon, which, they're a core, so they really like coming together. So if you had both of them, then Ice was going to do really well into you, particularly, and click that Icy Wind. And I had statted very specifically to outspeed max speed Mega Excadrill at -1.
Yeah, I'll be honest, Icy Wind wasn't even what was crossing my mind. The first thing I thought of was Freeze Dry into Tauros, and after that I just apparently didn't think of anything else. It's like I should have thought about Icy Wind, because I mean I could have protected and then got a pretty good hit off, or at least hit the Primarina and made it a little harder. But
well, I mean, especially if you crit it and it just dies. So
exactly, yeah, that does help. It's crazy stuff here, guys. The critting Pokemon helps.
Yeah, insane.
Yeah, it's like you should be trying to crit. I don't like getting crits, especially in draft games, because normally I'm familiar with the people I'm playing, and I don't want it to feel like I'm cheating them out of it.
Yeah. No, I mean, this felt like a very clean, well played, like real game of Pokemon.
It did.
Like I really enjoy those.
Yeah, it was a good game. I mean, I wish that you weren't Kibiaberry, but that was the only thing.
Yes, yeah. It was a real, like, you can equate Pokemon games to a chess game of like, I'm gonna move my piece here, you move yours, and we're gonna keep going back and forth. And then somebody either introduces a gimmick or they get a crit, so it's like a child comes by and slaps all the pieces off, and it's like, all right, well.
Yeah, that was the main thing. Is like the main reason why I didn't bring in the gimmicks. I think I said it. You said it before in the interview. Is like I knew you were gonna be prepped. I was like I had to try and do something to catch you off guard with it. You know. So that's why the Nasty Pot Salazzle, when I normally bring the fake out stuff, like I originally had expert belt, and funnily enough, that would have worked, but
Yeah.
sadly did not. So
Yeah. I mean, I was never gonna be able to catch every gimmick. So
Yeah.
all the main ones that are like super obvious and very strong, I caught those and I prepped for them. But everything, like I don't even. I remember at the very start of the draft when I was doing the tier list with Red King, we had clocked the Dragon Cheer stuff.
yeah.
I had completely forgotten about it by now, so I mean it would have caught me off guard.
Yeah. I mean, even like I said, even with what you brought, it wouldn't have been fantastic, you know? Because, I mean, even if I lead Salazzle, Salazzle Hydreigon, and then I fake out into your lead anyway. Like, I would have to fake out the Primarina, I would have to set Tailwind, I would eat the Icy Wind, and then I'd probably be, I'd be slower than you anyway.
Yeah.
Or at least close to it, right? Like, so it probably wouldn't have worked out anyway. I mean, you did a good job covering them. Like, I mean, it's a lot of gimmicks to cover for.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the size spam, gravity. I don't even think I have any in the back pocket that you didn't prep for.
Well,
Maybe.
it was an amazing game. It was a lot of fun, and thanks for giving me a great match.
No, I appreciate it. I love Draft League. It's ever since I discovered it, it's kind of just been my passion project in getting as many people as I can into it. I mean, that's why I take the time to run so many of them and help out with so many others. It's fun, right? I like the format. I like that people want to continue to play the format. I mean, it's just, in my opinion, the best way to play Pokemon. And I know that's a hot take, but it's special,
Absolutely.
It's a special team. Special game.
Well, that is going to wrap up week 4 here. It was an awesome game. We're going into week 5 still undefeated, so feeling good. But next time we're going against the San Diego Superiors, which is the second place team in my conference. So certainly have our work cut out for us. So I will see you then.